There I am. Welcome, everyone. Whew, it's been a ride. Great to have all of you here. I'd love to know how all of you guys are doing. I'm actually doing pretty darn good. We have Southern California. Welcome, Sandy and Robert. They were both on our Bali adventure. Hey, Tony from Texas. And whoever else is showing up here. Tennessee, awesome. Is that Glenda? I don't know if that's what your name is, but anyway, it's hard to tell from the picture. I'm so glad to be here. It's been quite the adventure, and I'd love to tell all of you what has gone on with our Bali trip. That was a fantastic retreat, much far exceeded my expectations. And I'm doing this live from Cambodia right now. It's early in the morning. And so I'd also want to hear how you guys are doing out in the world. I've been a little offline and kind of disconnected from what's been going on. So I'd love to hear if you guys are struggling, or is it you doing great? Have you been tapping into the energies that are kind of new and upcoming? We've got New York and Arizona. Welcome. Hey, Kristen. All right. Well, and we'll also be entertaining some questions a little later as well. So, before my adventure to Bali, where I was leading a retreat with a small group of brave souls, it's always, I think, a brave thing to do a deep dive with a live group. So, in Bali, we were doing that retreat, and we visited several different places and a cultural event. It's sort of, we visited the water temple, which was an amazing blessing. We had a fire ceremony another day. We had a cooking class. We did a sound healing ceremony at the temples of Chi. So that was quite the adventure of all of those cultural things. And we also did a deep dive for each person personally as a group at this amazing retreat called the Solana Wellness Retreat. And a very interesting thing that I discovered on this retreat was that usually at home you see those vision boards I have behind me. And I have one vision board that has Sonoma up in the upper left-hand corner, where this is the section that relates to prosperity, abundance, often where you want to live, you can put in that corner as well. Because when you feng shui your vision boards, they become super, super powerful. So I had Sonoma written, written in there for a long time. And so I decided that once I had moved more than a year ago, that I wanted to change it to Solana Beach because I was near there. I found a great place. I was going to move there. So I changed the word Sonoma to Solana. I just added some letters on top and it changed it to Solana, thinking that was Solana Beach. Well, once I got this little horse, I realized I'm not going to Solana Beach. It's going to be too far. I'll just be staying where I am. So I left the word there. And then here I am in Bali on this retreat center. And it wasn't until about the second or third day that I realized, when I picked up a coaster for a glass, and that it had Solana on it, that retreat center and that entire retreat was what got created by putting that word Solana on my vision board. And it was in the wealth and prosperity section. So that was a super powerful event that happened, that was really exciting, that did really help to validate and anchor what I was doing there. So that was super cool. Just want to share that with you so you can see how powerful these vision boards are. Don't take them lightly. They can be very, very important tools. A lot of people poo poo vision boards. Oh, that's old school, or those things don't work, or whatever. You just have to know how to use them. So that was super cool. And what else? So we did this amazing retreat. We also, because we had recently been working on the energies of the family tree. Remember, we were doing that before I went to Bali, clearing the family trees. And so that was also part of the deep dive each of us took in Bali. So a lot of great results and experiences from that event, and great camaraderie. Was just a really great little soul tribe we created there. So this retreat exceeded my expectations. So that was super wonderful. And then I was called, as you all know. Oh, well, let me back up. For those of you who may have missed the 5 keys. So I was given 5 keys before going to Bali, and miss you too. Hey, Jody. um, so I was given 5 keys before I went to Bali, and didn't know what they were used for, or what they were for. I didn't know how they were going to be used, although I did have a similar experience when I went to Egypt and was given 5 keys before I went there. And that was very interesting, the 3 places I used that in Egypt. So I did have experience with using these keys, but wasn't given many instructions on how to use them in Bali and then in Angkor Wat. But I did check with my guides ahead of time, and they told me that this was to be used at the Pisaki temple. Well, that was a very emotional, unexpectedly emotional experience when we went there. So I knew ahead of time that that's where they were going to be used, but I didn't know it was going to be so emotional. So that was partially recorded. And so, yes. And afterwards, we were all led into the temple area where you can only go there to pray. And the priest that was leading the meditation that he was going to lead us through, as he came by our group, mentioned how powerful. He says, "Oh, whoa, the energies are really powerful here." And so I don't think he knew what I had just done. At any rate, that was a great validation. But when I checked in with my guides, they were telling me that this activation was activating the 3rd layer of our aura. So as you know, our aura is connected to our chakras. And so 3rd layer, 3rd chakra, that's all about our power. And so being that this activation was happening out in front of the 3rd layer of our aura, this denoted to me, this is helping us step into more of how we present ourselves in the world as far as using our power, and how we'll be seen in our power. So pay attention in the upcoming days. Maybe you may be already noticing that, that maybe people perceive you as being more powerful. I notice that that has been the case for me since this activation. So, excuse me. So notice that for yourself. If people are perceiving you as being more powerful, maybe just your presence starts to change and alter things without really saying much or doing much. I notice that has been the case here. And then now I'm in Cambodia, Siem Reap, for the Angkor Wat. So I did that yesterday, which would have been what are we so this morning for you guys. So I thought this was going to happen at Angkor Wat because that's what I was told, but it actually turned out to be a little bit different, although I could really feel the energies when I went to Angkor Wat. start to get activated. I started working the energies there. So an interesting thing that happened was as I checked in with the energies of Angkor Wat, I noticed that, like if I were to create Angkor Wat as an avatar, I noticed it was grounded and the energy was mostly flowing, except that the third, the heart chakra was nearly closed. It was only open 3%. And my friend had told me that he had noticed that the Buddhist, because it used to be, all of these temples used to be Buddhist, and then the Hindus came in and effaced all of the Buddha things, except this one temple, which is where the activation happened. So the heart chakra was nearly closed. And so I noticed that when I looked at the Buddhist monks that go here to pray at Angkor Wat, that they were not grounded, they had no creative rings, almost like NPCs, heart chakra closed. And so they do these, they're being used by the dark forces to keep the powers at Angkor Wat held down. So that wasn't surprising to me. I've seen this in a lot of places. So I worked on this avatar. I helped to open this heart chakra. A lot of influence at the crown of this avatar, and so eventually, when I opened this energy up at the heart, I also noticed it affected these monks. And so I wasn't even at the temple doing this particular work at the time. I was doing it before I actually got there. So then how that works is that then when these monks are there praying and doing their chants and so forth, they start emitting a new frequency because now their heart is open. And so the people that start going there will be affected in a new way by these energies. So when I actually went to Angkor Wat, the energies were a little bit intense. I almost got emotional there, but I just kept working the energies, and it was very interesting seeing the influence of these. I think it is Buddhist. That there's a Buddha in the temples, and is it Buddha or Hindu? I can't remember now. I apologize for that. At any rate, so when I walked around the temple, there's one picture posted on Instagram where I have my hand on. They have these carvings throughout the temple. The carvings are amazing. And otherworldly, and that is a lot like Egypt in that this is far beyond human. The amount of carvings that are in these is just unbelievable. At any rate, so I did a lot of healing in the temples where on these etchings and so forth. So once you do one, it kind of radiates out, and then you noticed that all the heart chakras on these etchings are now clear and open. So and then also all these temples are connected, right? I mean, there's hundreds of these temples, and so that was quite profound going there. And then I was on a private tour because I wanted to be able to do this without interference from other people and distractions. So we went to another temple called Taprohm, Taprohm. This is where the movie Tomb Raiders was done with, you might remember seeing pictures of the tree that is kind of growing all over the temple. So that was interesting, very interesting. Nothing in particular happened there. But then when I went to the third temple, which is called Angkor Thom, Thom, this is where there's a lot of the Buddha faces are everywhere on all of those peaks. They're at the tops of those. The Hindus, when they came through that temple, they did efface as many of the Buddhas that are sitting, um, and the etchings of those. They did efface those either entirely or at least the face throughout the temple. But they couldn't do that to the top, or they didn't do that to the tops of um, the temple. So that is actually where the activation happened, in a very sort of obscure place that I could tell it was a main area where there was, four sides, four openings, and there's a big opening that goes up. And so that's actually where the activation happened. Um, and so, what does this activation mean? So, I asked ahead of time, I asked my guides what this particular activation meant in Angkor Thom, which it turned out to be. Um, and they were telling me that this is a third chakra, third layer. So, that is really where most people have been experiencing this ongoing oppression by the dark side, right? The third chakra, third layer, that is like the biggest part of our power. And so now that this is being activated, uh, and will continue to be activated, and what it feels like this one is more like activating our superpowers, like the biggest part of our power, our ability to be fearless in the world, to really step into our gifts, to really step into the light, the incoming light, especially that's going to be happening during this summer solstice. So that's the next thing that we're preparing for, is the summer solstice. So all of this power that is being activated is helping us to get ready for the incoming light codes that are massive waves of light that are going to be coming in, especially during the summer solstice energy. So, this is the next thing that we're going to be preparing for. If you have been following, you may have remembered me talking about what the main purpose of our being on this planet, especially during this time period, is that humankind is evolving into, um, like, our mission or our goal is how much light can we embody? How much light, these light codes, this light quotient, can we hold in our cells, in our cellular frequency? So the more light that we're holding, that means more information. Quartz, which is in all computers, they use quartz because it can hold so much information. And so when we become and are activating the light, our light body, that means we're activating the part of us that can hold more light in our cells. The more light we can hold, the more information we have available. So, what kind of information? That could be from what the thing that excites me the most right now is how we can use this light to be healthier in our bodies. Like, when our body has the information and knows how to use the information on how our body actually works, minus all of the programs that have been instilled on how we age, how we function, uh, then we become healthier. We become, some people are even talking about reverse aging, let alone just stopping the aging process. So that's one of the things that I would say excites me the most right now, is how do we embody more light to live vibrantly, youthfully, with lots of power and energy. So that's what excites me the most right now. However, if we have more information, we'll also know how to interact with each other in relationships. How are we meant to communicate, being able to tap into some of our superpowers, like being able to telepath, being able to communicate without words? Maybe you're already noticing some of these kinds of things. Tapping into our healing abilities, the information on how to um, heal in a more effective way. And more information is going to be coming in that we don't even know about, or maybe that's the whole reason that you're on this planet. I recently started following Jerry Sargent on Instagram, and discovered a whole new thing about how we can heal people. So he's been tapping into, he's calling it star magic, and how we can tap into the constellations to bring in that energy and those frequencies to heal various parts of our physiology in our body. So you're going to start noticing more and more knowledge, information, uh, that is meant to be used so that we can become more powerful beings in a body. So, how do we embody these light codes so that we can be? I say it's like being angels, because the angels hold the most light, right? How do we become angel like in human form? So, earth angels is basically, and there's a lot of earth angels on the planet right now. And we've activated our wings. Was kind of a fun thing. And so all of these earth angels are tapping into more and more of their information. And this is what is starting to be um, dispersed. That information is coming in. So I'm curious about you guys, and if you've noticed any changes in your power, maybe in your gifts. Are you noticing more activations, or maybe you're also noticing how disempowered you feel? Like maybe that's really up for you, because that is what has to be cleared before you can really step into your power. So as these light codes and this new wave of information that's coming in about how we can step into our power, maybe you're noticing how powerless you feel. So I'm curious what you guys have been noticing, and then we could start entertaining some questions. So let's see. We have the two. Okay, yes, yes. Doing well, good. Let's see what else we have here. Let me put on my glasses. That always helps. No squinting. It'll be great when I don't have to use glasses anymore, right? Do you have a video of a feng shui inspired vision boards? Well, I have a whole kit. I have a whole kit. Let me see if I can give you the link for that. Um, there's a whole kit. I used to do vision boards. Well, I used to create them every month, and then that was for myself. And then I started to do create workshops every quarter for people, and teach how to do these. So in this kit, let me see if I can find it here, because it's not on my website. In this kit, you'll be able to. Okay, let me go get it over here. It has an hour-long workshop in there, and it also has a oops, hang on. Here it is. It has an hour-long workshop in there. Banner. There. Add banner. Okay, there. So I don't, is that the whole thing? Yeah, that's the whole link right there. If you want to write it down, you can um, get that. So anyway, this toolkit has an hour-long live workshop that I did that was professionally filmed. And then there's also an hour-long webinar that in there. The most important part is there's a map on how to feng shui your board. Um, and I believe there's also a meditation, because, you know, how you create your boards, the energy you create your board in is the energy you're going to manifest it in. So a lot of people think, you know, they're struggling, they feel, you know, broke, they don't have, and they're longing for a relationship, all these sort of broken parts. And then they create a vision board thinking that that's going to help change everything. Well, if you're creating your board in all of those places that feel broken and in low frequency, that's what you're going to manifest in. And so that's a big reason why a lot of people think that vision boards don't work. But if you raise your frequency and then create your vision board with this map and all the ways that you can energetically amplify it, then it becomes mega powerful. That's why I say this is how you create the most powerful vision boards on the planet. So anyway, yes, so that's the vision boards, and there's the link. Was this similar to Matthias Stefano's keys? I don't know which keys, you know, I think they're similar in that, you know, Spirit is giving us keys to unlock certain things. You may have keys as well. And so it may be similar, but I don't know what specifically his keys unlocked or activated. Or where they were even used. So Sandy is noticing the change. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, Sandy, and how that looks for you, because Sandy was in Bali with us, so she was doing some big work. Something about him seems off to me. Are you talking about Matthias? Actually, that's very interesting you would say that, Dana, because he is currently not grounded. Creative rings. He only has 3, so he's got some compression. At the crown, heart, his heart is still open. So he may be going through a little something right now. I believe he is powerful enough to break through whatever influence he is experiencing. He is a very powerful being, and he has, which is why they're maybe going after him. But let's see, at his root chakra chords, yeah, he's got about 50 of those AI chords going on. But he's a powerful being. Be good to keep an eye on him, because he's somebody I adore as far as his gifts and what he's bringing to the world. So hopefully he'll make it back. Same thing happened to Greg Braden. He was for a while kind of like having some hard times, but he's back on and strong. Yes, just double checking. So Sandy is noticing her gifts have amplified. Excellent. Feeling her power. Oh, so you're talking about Jerry Sargent. Let me check. You know, last I checked, he's very grounded. Infinite rings. His energy field is flowing. Ego 0. He may seem like he's in his ego because he has so much confidence, and but he's not in his ego. The same thing is with Masadi or Masajati. Some people think he's in his ego, but also not at all. It's just these are very confident men in their power. So not sure what you're picking up on about Jerry. I think his name is Jerry, but you have Jason. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Anyway, Sandy, I'm feeling more confident in my abilities and gifts. I used to have doubts about what I do in my healing. So more confidence. That's great, because then you can really step into what you're meant to do. Okay, Sydney. And if you guys have questions too, we could take a peek at a few things. Um, and so, Sydney, I've noticed the way people have been more curious conversating with me. Enlightened conversations. A man reached out to me for a 16K consulting job, hired me on the spot. Well, great. That's fantastic that you're stepping into more of that and more. It looks like it sounds like you're stepping into more of your power. Great. Monique, last week I was feeling defeated in the money area with tenants who haven't paid rent since March and had to go to court. I was feeling exhausted. I'm feeling better now. I did hours of meditation. Well, if you don't mind, Monique, since you're talking about money, let's take a peek at your money stuff. Um, it is at infinity now, so well done. And it is aligned in all of your chakras and flowing through the circle of reciprocity. So fantastic. And as you can see, things have shifted and things will get better and better. So congratulations on that. And best of luck that will continue in a forward positive way. Let's see what else would go in here. Something skipped. So that I don't get too far out of the way here. Sydney, I also noticed the way visions are coming forward a lot quicker. It almost confuses me from random thoughts, but they are validated quickly. Okay, great. Yeah, that's stepping into more of your power. All right, Gwen. I feel like I'm following my yellow brick road, being asked to step into a higher level of self in education, a bit like David and Goliath. Not sure if I'm reading it correctly. Just checking something, Gwen. Your energy is really flowing nicely, and your third chakra is nice and open and flowing. Just checking on the percent that you've integrated this new incoming power energy that was activated at the temples. Hang on just a second. 100%. Well done. So Gwen is already activated and stepping into what am I, the right word I'm looking for? Embodied this new incoming energy 100%. So well done, Gwen. Kyle Gray from Hay House. Not sure if I have outgrown him or if something is off with him. Kyle Gray, I don't know who he is, so I'm just going to check the energies. Yes, he has no grounding cord and creative rings, 0. His heart is open, 0. In his ego, 100%. Yeah. So you're correct that he's off. And so I don't know if so much as you've outgrown him, but I think it's that you're detecting that you're no longer aligned with where he is now in his frequencies. All right, Sandy, by doing the work in Bali, that raised my money vibe. Yay, well done. And also in her business. Fantastic. Here's Shelly. I've been booking more clients. Hooray! Yay! Yes, that's a big thing you're working on. And I also may take a side job. I was offered and wondered how that vibes. Okay, so the side job vibes at infinity, and 765. You're aligned with it in every one of your chakras. And it's grounded and it's really flowing. So that really looks great, Shelley. It looks like it's part of your money manifestation. So well done. There may be some things to look at as far as some karma with some of the people, like unresolved past lives, especially with the main person that's hiring you. You've got 5 unresolved past lives with them. In your root chakra, 3rd layer, some fury there. So clear that, and you're probably going to learn some great things in this new job. So love your manifesting, Shelley. Great job. All right, let's see what else we have. Well, welcome, Michelle. It's okay if you're here a little late. Just pick up. You can always listen to the recording as well. Stephanie, great to see you, my dear. I felt the opposite lately. Is my energy flowing? I broke out into hives last week, assuming from stress. Well, hives is definitely a manifestation of anger. And so, yeah, Stephanie, you've lost your grounding. You've lost your grounding and only have 5 rings. So clear that interference at your crown. Cords at the crown, only 5 at the crown, but at the root, there's 50, 50. So, yeah. and maybe it's time to book one of those sessions. Oh, get you back on track. Okay. Let's see. Desi, welcome. Can't wait for our next 12-day clearing. I know it's going to be in July. We don't have a theme yet for July, so suggestions will be appreciated. But speaking of what's coming up next, this Thursday, we have our luminary activation. Let me just put that banner up really quick here. Our luminary activation, which we do once a month on the first Thursday. Let me just edit this real quick. So this is June 5th. 5th is the first Thursday of every month. Okay, and there. So that's the monthly luminary activation. And this next one, which I'm really excited about, is preparing us for the summer solstice. So you can go there to my website. If you're having a hard time figuring out the link, you can also just go to my website, KimberlySherry.com, and scroll down to the luminary activation tab. And we're going to be preparing our bodies to receive these incoming light codes that are going to be massively activated during the summer solstice. So these season solstices is an energy activation. So when we work with these frequencies, with the moon cycles, the eclipse and solstice cycles, that we can really amplify our ability to tap into more of these energies. So summer solstice is coming up at the end of June. However, we need to prepare. We need to prepare our bodies. It takes time to get ready for some of these things. And so my suggestion is that you join us on Thursday for the luminary activation. So you can join us for just one time. Many of you have signed up for a year and as a subscription. That's like getting 5 months free, just saying. At any rate, every month we do this activation and it's always on a different subject. So we're going to be preparing our bodies for these incoming light codes. And we're also going to be making sure that these energies that have been activated here, or not here, but in Bali and at Angkor Thom, actually, and not Angkor Wat, are going to be integrated. So that's another part of this next activation, and really helping to remove anything that's in the way of us really bringing in the light, bringing in the information so that we know how to operate these vessels. And then when all the light codes come in, then it becomes a blessing instead of massive chaos. Like, oh my God, what's happening with all these light? with all the light is, can either create confusion and chaos, or it can create a wave of, I don't want to say euphoria, but a wave of amplification of our gifts and information. So that's what's really going to be activated. All right, let's see what else we got here. And okay, wait. Okay, so there's that 12 day. How Michelle wants to know, how do you know if you're grounded? Well, you can. The most important way is to learn how to get your internal yes or no. So right now, if you were to muscle test, this is one way that people. So if your a yes is strong, like, first ask a test question: Am I a dog? The answer is no, obviously. So it should break through. No, I'm not a dog. Um, and so if you ask if you're grounded, Michelle, you can do this kind of test. I like muscle testing, like just past my elbow here, this way with thumb down. You can also use your self as a body pendulum. That's a good way to get your yes or no. No, some of you might be able to douse with a crystal or some kind of anything holding from a string. You can douse from. So, Michelle, when you check any of those, you should be getting a no, because you're not grounded. But you might be able to tell just by what's going on around you. And my guess is that because you were even curious or wondered or had doubts if that you were grounded, that in and of itself can be a great indication that you're not grounded. If you're grounded, you're going to feel solid. You're going to feel confident. You're going to feel in your body. So you're only occupying your body like 2%, which means that you're not going to feel what's going on. You're only feeling 2% of what's going on in here, because you're only energetically occupying your body 2%. So we can function like that, but we won't be able to feel what's going on, likely feel a lot of confusion. At your root chakra, there are these energy cords that are making it hard for you to get grounded. These cords are AI, ancient interference. These are the dark energies on the planet. And you only have five cords there, but it's enough to make you feel ungrounded. So take those out, just using your imagination. Take those cords out, and then, okay, great. So you already did that. Now, I'd like to know in the comments if you feel any different. Now you're grounded. All right. Dana wants to know if she's embodied these new powerful energies. This month has been a lot of frustration and grief. No, Dana, only 3%. Yeah. So, and you've lost your grounding. So that's the frustration. You're feeling all of these energies in your field, and there's no place for them to go. So, cords, your root chakra. Yeah, you also have those 50 AI cords at your root chakra. So take those out and join us on Thursday. Let's really get this stuff going. Sandy, I was asking if the work I've done in Bali did raise my money vibe and business vibe. Sorry, I asked the question wrong. Oh, I see. Well, your money is at infinity, and it is balanced in every one of your chakras. And however, your business avatar is not grounded. So I would work on that. And it only has 2 rings. So let's see. Sydney, could you see if I align with the 16K consultation job? Well, that job is not grounded, Sydney. It doesn't have a grounding cord. If you create an avatar for this job, has no grounding cord and only has 2 rings. So that avatar needs a little work, and then you're ready for it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have manifested it. but it just needs a little work before you're aligned to it. All right, Sveta, would you do a quick energy check on Ken Lloyd? Elizabeth April mentioned him, but his energy seems off to me. Perhaps it's just the fact that he claims he has multiple walk-in souls working with him. Okay, good. I don't know Ken Lloyd either, but he has no grounding. And he has, how many rings? 0. His heart is only open 15%. And he's in his ego 100%. So I love Elizabeth April, but she doesn't quite know that this guy's been infiltrated. So she struggles in and out with being infiltrated herself. So she's a very bright soul, and I love her to death, but I wouldn't recommend Ken. All right. Can't wait for the upcoming luminary activation. First Thursday has been my favorite for a while. Exactly. Every month is a little different because it's feeding on the last activation. And then every other month we do the 12-day program. So that's where you have a chance to go deeper. All right, Steph, let's see. You're grounded now. Excellent. You're grounded now. Well done. So you know how to do this. You know how to do this stuff. Join us Thursday. Okay. Sydney wants to do the 30-day program. I'm excited. The 30-day program, that's a one-to-one program. If you are, great. I'm excited. Is there a good time to purchase? Well, actually, now would be a great time to purchase and then schedule your first session next week. So I'll be back in just a couple days. I'll be back in time for our luminary activation, but I won't be ready to take on clients until the following week. So for those of you who are curious, let me see if the 30-day program is here. It's not. Let me just pull it up for you guys. Okay, hang on just a second. And here, okay. And then, yeah, 30-day program is really a great opportunity to go really deep dive, personal, one-on-one. We cover a shitload of things in a very brief time. So here is that banner in case you're interested. So you might need to write that one down. Oops, wait. Okay, so there you might need to write that down. Pay special attention to caps and lowercase on that. All right, let's see what else we got. We got time for a few more minutes here. Okay, hey, Kathleen. Hey, Kimberly. Gifts have really been amped up. Yes, we'll be restructuring my vision board. Clearings very different with emphasis on clearing to bring in more light. Exactly. Incredible 2 weeks. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. Hello, Lisa from Connecticut. Are you grounded? Yes, you're grounded, Lisa. And your energy is flowing. So that's good. And you might want to go a little bit deeper with us on Thursday for the luminary activation. Hey, Sabrina. I see you made it home safe and sound. Sabrina was in Bali with us. Or Shelby today, maybe business or money. Let's see. Get grounded, girl. You lost your grounding cord. So get grounded. You have, there's only 5 cords at your root chakra, those AI cords. And Shelby's grounded. Excellent job, Shelby. and she's looking good. So, and your business avatar also looks good. So yeah, you just need to get grounded with yourself, and your money is at infinity and aligned in all your chakras. So well done. Um, okay, so here's Michelle singing my praises. Hopefully you all got that last link. Um, yes, it's a good idea not to miss out on anything because we just keep moving ahead, right? You don't want to get left behind. And here's Sveta. Thank you for the confirmation of what I was feeling in my body. Yes, my body was screaming a big no when she said about this guy. When she had him do an activation on her entire community. God, I hate it when I hear that. That's so. Oof. Yes, exited that video pretty quick. I know there these dark energies are really finding their inroads, and people that were bright lights, they don't realize how powerful these energies are. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but hopefully these her community is not going to be too affected, and her as well, because I don't know, I just really adore her. So. Um, All right, Stephanie, see you hopefully soon. You're headed to Egypt. Excellent. Wow. So when I get back, okay, great. Yeah, let's connect when you get back. Egypt. Best of luck with all the activations in Egypt. We paved the way for you, as well as many others have also been there since I was there 2 years ago, and we did all kinds of activations in the temples. Um, okay, here's Monique who did an energy clearing on my three families. Can you tell if it worked or if I should do it again or repeatedly over? I don't know what that means because three on my three family. There are a lot of folks there, and folks on the third floor are the hard ones. So that's a really broad stroke, Monique. And so I don't know what third family is. Um, and don't Monday, Thursday. I don't know what that means. Namaste from Singapore. Yes, Sherry, welcome. Is Tony grounded? Yes, Tony, you're grounded. Well done. You're doing the work. And your energy is flowing. So join us on Thursday. We can go deeper with this luminary activation. Get rid of 50 issues in my root chakra. Well, it depends. Will this 28 or 20 minute? It depends. If you what really works is that's going to help guide you through. But actually, you don't even need to do the whole meditation to release those cords. Just use your imagination. You're grounded now, Dana. So, well done. The new logo is set for, I don't know what that means either. Egypt 2026. Well, there is there is someone who wants me to bring a group to Egypt. Maybe we'll do that if you. So here's some great information that look for upcoming. I will. You as well. Thank you, Lisa. So since doing this retreat, I realized that doing retreats is completely in my wheelhouse. I love this, being able to do a group with a deep dive for a week, really helping with their specific manifestations and with the specific things they're working through. And so Spirit has already let me know when my next big retreat is. Next year, April of 2026 to Istanbul. I went there a dozen years ago and loved it. so powerful. And so we're going to be visiting the Topkapi Palace, which is an amazing museum. This Hag Sophia, I guess that's what it's called, and then the Blue Mosque. So that's going to be a super powerful thing. It just is new on the coming down the pike, and so stay tuned for that. If you want to do a live retreat with us, or you want to go to Istanbul, it's going to be amazing. So we're going to start putting all of that together. And so Dana wants to do Egypt again. Okay, well, Sandy's game for Istanbul, good. And Carrie Dest, am I grounded? You're not, Carrie. You only have 5 of those AI cords at your root chakra, but take those out. It'll be better. It'll be easier for you to get grounded. And Egypt in 2026. So maybe we'll do Istanbul in April. And then Egypt later in the year. I don't know. We'll see how it all works out. But Istanbul is definitely on the books. 10th founding. Okay, so this is somebody who's obviously trying to advertise for somebody else. So I'm going to do a reading on this person because 10th founding anniversary. I don't know what this is. Whatever it is, it's not grounded. It has no grounding cord, has a low frequency. So I don't support whatever it is you're trying to promote there. Just saying. All right, dear friends, we are at the top of the hour. I thank you so much for joining us today with all of your questions. And for those of you who are doing the work and who are wanting to make sure that you're grounded, you're in your gifts, you're in your light and ready for more. So join us on Thursday. I will give that this luminary activation first Thursday of every month. Right there. It's on my website as well, KimberlySherry.com. And we're going to bring in the light codes, make sure you're aligned and ready for the solar solstice. So you embody the light codes that are coming in instead of getting hit by the tsunami and blindsided and in a wave of confusion. So let's get ready. All right. I'll see you on Thursday. Sending blessings from Siem Reap in Cambodia. And wishing me safe travels. So I'll be there for the luminary activation. All right. Blessings, everyone. Namaste.